Insaanman, the awakening of destiny. The city was loud, indifferent, relentless. Among the endless crowd walked a young man, tall, broad-shouldered, carved like a statue of discipline and ambition. Fresh out of university, always impeccably dressed, his shirt crisp, his shoes shining, his resume filled with promise. He looked like someone the world should welcome, but the world did not. Interview after interview, polite smiles, cold handshakes, and the same crushing words, "We'll get back to you." They never did. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and with every rejection, something inside him cracked just a little more. The hope in his chest dimmed like a dying star. The last interview. One sweltering afternoon, the sun hung overhead like a cruel witness. He stepped out of yet another glass building, another dream denied. His tie loosened, his hands trembled, his breath came shallow. The city moved around him as if nothing had happened, as if his failure meant nothing. But to him, it meant everything. Despair swallowed him whole. He wandered without direction, without purpose, until the noise of the streets faded. And then, he saw it. The banyan tree. A colossal banyan tree stood at the edge of an open field, ancient beyond comprehension. Its roots spread like the veins of the earth itself. Its branches formed a vast cathedral of shade, whispering secrets in the wind. It was not just a tree, it was a monument of time. He sank beneath its sprawling roots, his back against its rough bark. The weight of his failures pressed down on him like chains. Tears burned behind his eyes. The leaves rustled softly above him, almost taum, like an answer, and slowly he fell asleep. The nightmare begins. At first, his dreams were filled with echoes of rejection, doors closing, faces turning away, voices fading into darkness. Then, a strange sensation, a pressure, a presence. The banyan tree moved. Its thick, gnarled stems began to stir like living serpents. Slowly, they coiled around his ankle, then his leg, then his arms, his torso, tightening, tightening. His eyes snapped open. Terror exploded through him. He tried to scream, nothing. He tried to move, impossible. The roots held him in an ancient, merciless grip. It felt as though the tree was consuming him, pulling him into its timeless core. His breath was stolen. A tingling energy sparked beneath his skin. A pulse, a surge, like lightning trapped in his veins. The pressure intensified, unbearable. But within the agony, strength was blooming, not breaking him, forging him. The banyan's grip was no longer a prison. It was an infusion, its resilience, its age-old endurance. The air trembled. The ground itself seemed to hum, and then a blinding radiance erupted from his chest. The transformation, the roots recoiled, the tree shook. A storm of light engulfed him. His muscles rippled, expanding with impossible force. His senses sharpened. He could hear the wind breathe, the earth pulse, the distant heartbeat of the world. Pain reached its crescendo, and he rose, slowly, majestically, no longer broken, no longer defeated, reborn. The Insaanman, his hair, once neatly combed, had turned a distinguished silver, shimmering like moonlight. His eyes were no longer the eyes of a hopeless graduate. They burned with piercing purpose. His physique, already impressive, was now Herculean, sculpted like a warrior of legend. Golden armor formed around him, magnificent and radiant, adorned with the proud visages of roaring lions. In his hand appeared a sword shimmering, impossibly sharp, a blade that looked capable of cutting destiny itself. The air bowed around him. The banyan tree stood still once more, as if it had completed its duty. The young man took a breath, not of fear, but of power. He spoke, his voice deep, unwavering. "The world refused to give me a place, so I will carve my own." He was no longer just a man searching for employment. He was something far greater, a symbol, a protector. He is Insaanman. His physique was now Herculean, born from despair, forged by the ancient earth, destined to rise, and ready to protect those who could not protect themselves. To be continued.